Bullet Witch was an under-the-radar release when it came out back in the summer of 2006 for Windows PC and Xbox 360. It's a third-person shooter where you play a witch that stands between humanity and our destruction by an army of demonic forces. The game has now been remastered and re-released on Steam, but it's such a pity it falls short on so many levels. Bullet Witch used to be an underperforming but decent game. It could definitely be one of those guilty pleasure games, especially considering you're destroying an army of talking zombies and demons by using big-ass machine guns and magic. It's themed right, and if you manage to set your expectations low, this game could even surprise you. Start the game and everything runs smooth with 60 frames per second and crisp graphics. You'd almost think this is a major improvement over the original release.
Before you kill me, let me say my prayers, please.
One thing is clear, this game was not made to be played with keyboard and mouse. We played the first few chapters this way, and it's simply impossible to switch quickly between your guns and a magic power. It's a troublesome process that takes away a lot of the speed and therefore the fun from this game.
What's the matter? You haven't even scratched.
To make things worse, the interface assumes you're using a controller, but even if you would switch to a controller, things don't feel right. You don't have camera control while dodging, nor can you personalize the controls to change the commands on screen. It might be nitpicking, but considering the little amount of effort put into this port, they should have at least improved on the controls.
That shell is breathing. I think the only way to take it down is by hitting it with thunder.
The gameplay itself is a bit old school. The enemies are truly dumb, they just wander around trying to hit you. A bit of strafing and running will do the trick to outsmart the minions. The shooting mechanic feels powerful but simple. It doesn't really matter whether you do headshots or body shots, after a few hits, the zombies go down anyway. The truly most old-fashioned part of the gameplay is the way you progress through a level. Think about keys you need to find to open doors, sometimes also portrayed as enemies that need to be killed before a magic wall disappears. It really just feels old-fashioned, but let's consider that part of the earlier mentioned guilty pleasure.
Ah, shit. What the hell is that thing?
Now let's look at this game from another perspective. It's $15 on Steam. By any standards, this remastered version of Bullet Witch is just a bad game with the same added weird appeal for people who like games like Earth Defense Force and Onechanbara. But compare Bullet Witch with those two franchises and it's obviously the lesser game of the three.
Alicia, when I saw you fight, I knew it. That power of yours. We need it right now. We need the power you've got.
This third-person action game lacks personality or a well-applied new layer of paint. It's a game that's just there, but $15 isn't that much, and despite all the clunkiness and bad design choices, there's still some fun in this game. It's once again that guilty pleasure aspect that might convince you to give this one a swing. At least it won't hurt your wallet that much. Bullet Witch never was a major game release, and it still isn't. Even for a remaster, the developers have done very little to improve this game in any way possible. But Bullet Witch can offer some fun, and for some people that's worth more than good modern game design, excellent controls, and challenging enemies. We give Bullet Witch a 2 out of 5.